This video introduces data lookups and shows how to create and use them in Nexla. Data lookups manage relationships between data values and can be used to easily convert data values in a next set based on information in another data source. In Nexla, lookups can be either static or dynamic. Static lookups can be created using a CSV file or by manual input into a table or as raw text. With a static lookup, changes in data relationships are managed manually. These lookups are useful for applications such as order coordination, inventory management, and many others. Dynamic lookups are created based on a live data source, such as an API or a regularly updated file source, and these lookups are updated automatically in real time based on changes in the data source. Next sets created using data lookups can be transformed, validated, shared, and sent to destinations just like any other next set. In the Nexla platform, lookups can be viewed and created by selecting Lookups from the Tools menu. In this screen, you can see any previously created lookups, and by selecting Accessible to Me from this menu, you can also view any lookups that have been shared with you. To create a new static lookup, click the Create Static Lookup button to access the lookup creation screen, which presents three options for entering lookup data. The data can be manually entered into a lookup table, entered as raw text, or loaded from a local CSV file. For this example, I'm going to create the lookup using a CSV file containing mock product inventory information, but to find out more about creating static lookups with the other two options, see our Help Center article, Create a Static Lookup. First, I'll name the lookup and enter a description. Then I'm going to upload this CSV file containing the product information, in which the first row in each column contains the names that I want to use for the corresponding key value columns in the lookup. Now I can see preview records from the lookup table created based on the uploaded file. This menu can be used to change the designated primary key column, which is the column that will be used to coordinate the data returned when using the lookup. But in this case, I'm going to leave the product number as the primary key. Optionally, you can also assign default values to some or all of the key columns by entering the values in these fields. Now that the lookup data has been entered, I can click Save, and the new lookup now appears in the Lookups list and is ready for use. To use this lookup, I can go to My Data Flows, and I have this next set containing mock customer order data. The next set contains customer information, order numbers, and the ordered product numbers and amounts. I want to use the lookup that I just created to obtain product inventory information for these orders based on the product numbers, which is why the column containing product numbers was selected as the primary key column in the lookup. I'm going to click Transform on this next set to access the next set designer, and then add a new Transform rule group. To select which information from the lookup is returned in the output next set, I could select the Lookup function, select the lookup that I want to apply the lookup to the primary key attribute, enter a name for the output attribute, and select the information that I want in that output attribute as the secondary key. In this case, I want to return all of the information corresponding to each product number contained in the lookup, so I'll instead select the Get Lookup Entries function. Then I'll select the lookup and choose the primary key attribute as the match criteria. Now, when I run the next set rules, the output next set preview contains all of the information corresponding to the product numbers in each order. To create a dynamic data lookup, navigate to the live next set containing the data that should be used to create and update the lookup. For this example, I'm going to use a live next set from an API source that contains real-time information about stock sales. On this next set, I'll click Send to Destination, select Dynamic Lookup, and click Next. Now I'll enter a name and description for the lookup. This menu allows me to set the primary key for the lookup, and I'm going to select Ticker ID. Again, you can assign default values to some or all of the key columns by entering the values in these fields. Then I can click Save to save and create the new dynamic lookup. Now this lookup will also appear in the Lookups list, and it can be applied to any next set in the next set designer, just like the static lookup. Because this is a dynamic lookup, the information that it contains and thus returns will be updated based on the selected update frequency of the data source on which it's based. For more information about lookups and Nexla's other features, see our other tutorial videos and the documents in the Help Center.